Akron Athletics and the Wentz Financial Group present Zips Weekly with John Groce. Contributing sponsors: Hilton Akron Fairlawn, Bryant Heating and Cooling, and Regency Office Furniture. And now your host, Joe Dunn.
Well, again, everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of Zips Weekly with head basketball coach John Groce. Of course, it's brought to you all season long by Bud Wentz and everybody at the Wentz Financial Group. Well, when Coach Groce looked at the schedule, he saw two back-to-back road games up in the Michigan. But, Coach, you go up there, you win both of them. 13-6 right now, 5-1 in the Mid-American Conference. That was a great week, but it was very hectic getting up there and back twice.
No, it sure was, and I was really proud of our guys, how tough they were this week.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot of guys battling the flu, fighting through that. And then you had we spent 20 hours on a bus.
Yeah.
I joked around after the game. I think we spent more time on a bus than we did actually practicing or playing in the games. So credit to our guys. Obviously, we've had 4 out of 6 MAC games now on the road.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking off air there. If you include our 2 scrimmages,
that's right,
we've actually had 12 road neutral competitions and 9 home games. So the good thing for us now is we shift to a 4 out of 5 of the next games are in the jar at home, and we're looking forward to being at home.
Coach, when you look at that schedule, do you kind of circle that Michigan week and you say you got to prepare mentally and physically for those 2 trips?
No, we did, and I was real with the guys. I told them, I said, look, I've been doing this a long time, and to have 2 like this, our 2 longest trips back-to-back in the same week, and then, like I said, obviously you can't control how many guys have flu. It just happened to hit our team and run through our team this week, and hopefully that's good because now it's gone. We don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
But, all that happening at one time just showed great resiliency and toughness. But, a lot of teams would wilt in a week like we just had. And I thought our guys' toughness really showed, especially in the second half of the second game at Western.
Well, the good thing, Coach, we come back home for 2 games this week. Tuesday night, Miami comes to town. Then Saturday afternoon, the Ohio Bobcats for a 2 o'clock tip-off. It's going to be good to come back home, Coach, for 2 games. Hope to see a lot of people out there for those 2 games.
No question. We talked about it after the game and on the radio that, hey, this is a team. If I wasn't the coach, I'd pay to come and watch them play. I mean, they play so hard, physical, great defense. I think our offense is continuing to get better. We didn't make shots like we needed to make shots at Western. I thought our pace and the way in which we transitioned from end to end wasn't real crisp. So we've got to get that back here heading into this homestand.
As we said, the Zips right now 13-6 overall, 5-1 in the Mid-American Conference. Right now, let's go back up to Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Tuesday night, a long trip up there, but it's going to be a good trip as the Zips take on the Chippewas of Central Michigan. Coach, they jump on us quick up there.
Yeah, they did. Obviously got out 7-0, but fortunately for us, we've got really good leadership with our 4 captains, and those guys are so experienced. We just kind of stayed the course. No one flinched. I thought we showed a lot of poise and composure, and then obviously made a run ourselves to get ourselves back in the game here, as you can see on the highlights, pretty quickly.
Exactly. We're going to take the lead. Nate Johnson had a good week. There's the dunk on that breakaway, Coach, and we're going to see a lot of good things out of him in this game.
Yeah, no, he was terrific in Mount Pleasant. Wasn't quite as sharp in Kalamazoo. Part of that being a freshman, I've got to continue to do a better job with them and get him to understand. And oftentimes it's a fight for all freshmen, the importance of being consistent. I always tell them coaches will take consistency over greatness any day of the week. And good growth experience, obviously, going through what those guys went through this past week, really all of our freshmen.
See the Zips up there up 15-14. The last 6.5 minutes of that first half, Coach, the Zips start to separate from the Chippewas. You did a lot of good things late in that first half.
No, we did. I thought we made a real push. A lot of this is all stems from our defensive output. We did a great job getting stops. It gives us a chance to run and get some easy baskets. But our defense has been getting better and better and better. I've been challenging them. We've already been good defensively. How do we go from good to elite? And so we've been really trying to knock out about 2 or 3 things that I think can really be a separator for our defense. There you see us getting on the floor for loose balls, giving up our bodies, that can really help our D climb even to the next level.
We saw Sammy Hunter a few seconds ago hit that big 3 from the corner. Central called a timeout, Coach, and they come out and made a little bit of a run. Then we again with a great pass from Castaneda. I think that's down to Monty Lyles on there.
That's a great pick and roll. Obviously, yeah. I think our guards right now, Castaneda, Clark when he played in Mount Pleasant, Greg, Tavari, Hankerson, those guys are making better decisions, right? It's like a quarterback in football. If they make better decisions, winning plays, it really helps your offense. And I think their decision-making has grown quite a bit from the beginning of the season to where we are at today.
Just watched Nate Johnson hit a big three-pointer right at the buzzer before the end of the half, and that was huge because it gave us that 10-point lead at 36-26.
No, it was. We talk about starting and finishing halves well. I think our guys have really embraced that, and we actually have a winning record starting and finishing first halves, starting and finishing second halves, and, of course, in the only overtime game that we played. So our guys' ability to start and finish has been great. It's been a real asset for us.
One quick comment on the first half. I think you shot 52% from the field in the first half up at Central. Not bad.
Yeah, good ball movement, good decision-making again. Here you see another pick and roll. We got an exit screen there where Hankerson makes a three. Castaneda sees their tagging and makes the right play. Tavari, same thing. And that possession turns down a good shot to get an even better one with Hank. So, we're really starting to, I think, have a chemistry offensively that we did not have earlier in the year. And it's kind of evolved to this point as guys have gotten a chance to gain more experience playing together.
There you see a great pass from Tavari Johnson, I think, to Greg Tribble on that baseline dunk. That's a highlight reel. And we're watching highlights as the Zips go out on a 23-9 run to start the second half.
Yeah, we got out. We talked about, again, how important the start is to the second half. Obviously, we had a great finish to the first half, garnered a lot of momentum. Start the second half, and we came out really swinging. 23-9 run, as you just said, and here Lyles is going to get the and one through contact. And, I just thought we got contributions from everybody that played. I thought it was a great team effort in Mount Pleasant.
Oh, you're right, Coach, because we had 4 players in double figures in that win up at Central Michigan. Castaneda with 13, Sammy Hunter with 12, Hankerson chips in with the 11, Greg Tribble with 10. We mentioned Nate Johnson, 5 points, 3 steals, 3 rebounds.
He was really good in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good, locked in, focused, thought he was physical, thought he made plays at both ends of the floor. We just need Nate to do that more consistently, and it'll come. He cares. He's really talented, and I'm very excited about our freshmen and how they're developing.
Zips win that one up at Mount Pleasant, 69-51. We're going to take a break, come back, and look at highlights from that nice win over at Kalamazoo Saturday afternoon. So don't go away. We're back right after this.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client's situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Choice Air HVAC. Find them at choiceairwithane.com.
Welcome back to Zips Weekly as we get a chance to take a look at the highlights from that big win Saturday afternoon up at Kalamazoo against the Western Michigan team, Coach. A week earlier to our game, they had put over 100 points on Bowling Green. Over at Ball State on Tuesday, they had the last possession with a chance to beat Ball State, so they were a good basketball team.
Yeah, they're playing better, and they're really talented. Hastings is a rebounder that's comparable to Enrique, quite frankly, per minute played and how he rebounded. He ended up finishing with 18 and 10 in our game, was terrific. Titus Wright's a load. Lamar Norman led the league in scoring last year at 22 a game, was averaging 18 a game among the league leaders this year coming into this game that we just played. And then you obviously got great shooters around them. I really, really like their team. In fact, I was very surprised, honestly, when I saw their record and I watched them play. I said, that's not plausible.
Yeah.
I'm watching like, wow. And obviously they were playing really well coming into that game, winning 2 out of 3. Just a great team effort. We won the game, Joe, quite frankly, on the defensive end.
Yes.
So we won it by defending at such a high level and then 3 turnovers for the
That's
whole
amazing,
game.
yeah.
I mean, those 2 areas were elite. Now, we got pounded on the glass, as you pointed after the game on the radio. We didn't get the percentages we needed there, but it was really those 2 other areas that carried the day. Offensively, I didn't think we were very good. I mean, we've been much better over the last 2 to 3 weeks. Thought our ball movement, I thought our transition game, our ability to get on the offensive glass was very subpar. But what carries the day is if you will defend, rebound, and take care of the ball, and we did 2 of those 3 at an elite level, it travels. So it doesn't matter where you play, road game, neutral game, home game. You play defense like that, you take care of the ball with 3 turnovers, you're going to have a chance to beat anybody no matter where the game's at. And that's exactly what happened in Kalamazoo.
Exactly. Well, let's go back up to Kalamazoo and watch highlights. Both highlights this week brought to you by Regency Office Furniture. And you talk about being ready, Coach. The first, I think, 3 or 4 minutes of that game, you have 2 of your players take charge. I think Greg Tribble took 2, Nate Johnson took 1, and as we said, that's contagious. Everybody up
it's
on the
really
bench
contagious, and we're super physical all week and tough. And our defense, again, we relied on it to win the game yesterday. You see Greg taking another one. Greg Tribble is one of the best defenders in our league. It's not even close. Sometimes people, and he'll get some steals and rebounds because Greg's athletic. But, sometimes what happens is people vote based on statistics. They see statistics. That doesn't tell the story with him. I mean, obviously, he's such a great team defender. He's intelligent. He's athletic. But he's been the primary cover on Imani Bates and held him to 3 points, who averages 20. And then he was the primary cover on Norman yesterday, who had 5 points and 5 fouls. And so his impact on the game defensively has been huge for us. And, we need him to continue to keep doing that. Thought Castaneda was really good, made timely 2s. Usually X is a guy that's super efficient from 3. We weren't very efficient from 3 yesterday. In fact, Hank, Hunter, and Castaneda, I believe, combined for 7 for 33 from 3, and had some good looks. So we need to, knock a few more of those in. But again, when you defend and take care of the ball like that, Joe, you got a shot.
We saw the Zips up 16-8. Then the Broncos go on an 8-0 run after they call timeout, Coach. And all of a sudden, our lead's down to 25-24. And then Castaneda just had a great play there. When he get it over, I think, to Nate Johnson, it's a 3. That's a highlight tape right there. Great hustle.
I said, or as that happened under my breath, the basketball gods were going to let that shot by Nate Johnson go in. Just too many hustle plays by the Zips there. Great effort by our guys, and results in the 3-pointer by Nate Johnson.
Castaneda had a long 2-pointer, I think, to end the half. And we go up at the half 32-30, getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. But, boy, did he really play well. And got a breakaway right here, and that's a 3-point play.
Yeah, no, it was big at the end of the half. Again, right, finishing halves. And that's what we did there to take that 2-point lead. And thought we closed the game really well, too. X is so tough. I mean, he's just so tough, competitive and tough. He's one of the most competitive guys I've ever coached. And he's great in those situations. I thought the leadership was good. The captains were very vocal late in the game, in timeouts, and were really dialed in to make whatever winning play that we needed to make next to win the game. And so credit our guys. Great pass there by Greg.
Castaneda had 16 points in the first half, including that 2 at the buzzer to give the Zips that lead. And in the second half, Coach, we get into a real nail-biter in the last 4 or 5 minutes. That could have gone either way.
Yeah, it could have. And again, going back to our captains, as you'd say, we got ahead of ourselves there a little bit based on the highlights. But, those guys did a great job of leading. Their voices were loud. I thought the buy-in from everybody was terrific. And we did a lot of good things, made necessary plays to win the game. But again, we relied on our defense and our ability to take good care of the basketball. And
one thing,
those things were huge for us.
Yeah, excuse me, Coach. The one thing Western did with a lot of teams they tried to front Enrique Freeman. It's hard to get the ball down to him a lot during that basketball game.
We did a poor job. Give them credit of executing and getting the ball. And you're exactly right. They fronted. They had backside help there from the lowest weak side guy. And I wasn't very happy with how we executed there against that. We've got to be much better. Other teams have done that, and we've been much better. So we just got to be a little bit better in that regard.
Castaneda and Tribble continue to make big plays at both ends of the court as the Zips hang on to win that basketball game, 63-55. There you see the 5th foul on Norman. I think that was more of a frustration foul on his part because of the defense we were playing against.
No question. I just thought we really were dialed in. I thought the trapping, we got into him a little bit and trapped him, and then just Greg doing a great job on him defensively, making him earn everything.
The Zips, as we said, with 2 big wins this past week, now 13-6, 5-1 in the league. 2 more home games coming up this week. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but right now we're going to take a break, come back and announce our Players of the Week right after this timeout.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
At the University of Akron, you have opportunity. Opportunity to be transformed through learning in our more than 200 in-demand degree programs. Opportunity to gain lifelong talents in the classroom, the studio, the lab, and in the community. And the opportunity to be a leader because of those who will support you here. At the University of Akron, you'll find your opportunity to reach greater heights. Here, everyone rises.
Well, each week this time we announce our special Player of the Awards, brought to you by the Wentz Financial Group. And Coach, our Player of the Week, no surprise. How about 6'1" senior point guard Xavier Castaneda out of Whitney Young High School in Chicago was outstanding in the Zips' 2 wins last week against Central Michigan. He had 13 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal. That was in 31.5 minutes. Then Saturday afternoon at Western Michigan, he played almost 37 minutes, scored 32 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. In the 2 road games, Coach, he only turned the ball over 3 times all week long.
No, we needed every play made, right? The biggest thing, and we talked about it earlier, is stats. They're all great, and he's obviously, from a production standpoint, not only really important to our team, but one of the best players in our league. But what he brings to the table outside of that is much more important, and that is his competitive toughness. He is so tough, so competitive, wants to win on every possession. And I've said this before, he's like the type of dude that's on the bus and they're playing dominoes and he's trying to win every hand. I mean, that's how he's wired. Like, he loves competition. He's a competitor at the highest possible level. And, so his competitive toughness really wears in a good way on our team.
Coach, you have watched him play for a long time.
Long time. Seen him since he was a high school player, an AAU player. AAU for Mean Streets, high school player for a great program in Whitney Young. He was very well coached, both high school by Coach Slaughter and AAU by Coach Streets and their crew. So tough kid, winner, and certainly glad that he wears the Zips uniform.
For sure. How about our player on the rise? Senior guard Trendon Hankerson from Novi, Michigan, returned to his home state, produced 2 solid games. At Central Michigan, he scored 11 points, pulled down 5 rebounds. He came back Saturday afternoon to grab 6 more rebounds, go along with 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 block shots. He does a little bit of everything for you.
He does, and he's so good defensively as well. We talk a lot about Greg, and rightly so, but he and Castaneda are also 2 great defenders. You put those 3 together at 1, 2, and 3, the defensive versatility that those 3 guys give you, it is by far and away cumulatively the best 1 through 3 defenders we've had since I've been here. Those 3 guys can really lock up, and then they're smart, so they're very good defenders off the ball when their men don't have the ball as well. And that's a big part, and maybe a bigger part of defense that sometimes people don't recognize. And then he's done such a great job of fitting in, great teammate, talks, vocal, cares about winning. I tell him all the time, my only wish is I wish I could have had him for more than 1 year. But he's been really important to us, and just a special person, really good player.
Looked like a Novi, Michigan homecoming, too, with all the people there, because his high school teammate played for Western Michigan.
That's correct, Trey Maddox, yeah. So they had him, and then X had a bunch of people there, too, because Kalamazoo, relatively speaking, is not too far from Chicago. So quite a bit of X's family and friends were there. Obviously, a lot of Hank's family and friends were there, being from Novi, Michigan. So it was kind of a homecoming a little bit for both those guys.
A great week for the Zips of 2 wins up in Michigan. We'll try and do it again this week with home games. Tuesday against Miami, Saturday afternoon against Ohio. We'll come back with scouting reports on those 2 teams right after this.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Choice Air HVAC. Find them at choiceairwithane.com.
Welcome back to Zips Weekly with head coach John Groce. 2 big home games again this week, and our scouting reports brought to you as always by the Hilton Akron Fairlawn Hotel. The Miami Redhawks come to town Tuesday night. That'll be a 7 o'clock game. And Coach, I think you know their head coach very, very well.
Yeah, my brother. He's done a really good job. I've had a chance, obviously, to watch him play some of our common opponents, the opponents we've scouted here recently, and then obviously over the last bit of time here, I had a chance to lock in on them. They're really good on offense. Maramba presents a real dilemma. He reminds me, when you watch him play, of Jokic in the NBA. So he's this big, strong, physical front court player, probably weighs about 300 pounds, and can really pass and dribble and shoot. And they facilitate a lot of offense through him like he's a point forward. And then obviously our fans and our team's very familiar with Mekhi Larry, their point guard, who had 27 on us during C-Jack's year. That was one of the great offensive games when Larry and C-Jack were going at each other head-to-head. He's more than capable of putting 25, 30 on you, no problem. I really like him. And then Morgan Safford, their transfer wing from Wofford, is actually, I believe, their leading scorer and a really good shooter, 6'5", has good positional size as a guard. Very good. And then obviously playing against them with our offense, we've got to take another step from where we were at Western and be a lot better with our ball and player movement and, really do a good job with that. And we'll be going against man-to-man as well as zone.
Yeah, they lost a tough game to Bowling Green on Saturday, but, Coach, you look back, they do have one big win against Buffalo back on January 10th, so the potential is there to be a pretty good ball
Yeah, sure. It's a league game. I mean, anything can happen any given day in league play.
Exactly.
We know that. We're aware of that. Our veterans know that. They've lived that. So that helps from a leadership perspective.
And then on Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock, the Ohio Bobcats come in. That should be a big crowd. Hope to see you out there for that one. Jeff Bowles will be here bringing in his Bobcat team. Coach, they're 10-9, 2-4 in the MAC, but they've had a tough early season schedule.
Yeah, they've had a gauntlet, both non-conference as well as conference, and you can just tell they're that type of team that's going to keep getting better. Dwight Wilson's a load inside, and then Jalen Hunter is their point guard transfer, does a nice job for him. I really like a couple of his young wings as well. Clayton can really shoot the ball. So they'll be, obviously they're going to be tough. All these games, all these league games are really, really tough. We get to go doubleheader on that day. Our women's team, Joe's been awesome.
Playing well.
And so, come out and support us this week. Tuesday night, Miami. Saturday, doubleheader. We'd love to see you there and support our team as well as Coach Jackson's team, who's playing really, really well.
Exactly. One more note about the Bobcats. They shoot the three pretty well. I think they were 15 for 32 on Saturday against Central Michigan. So
you saying that's better than our 7 for 33 between the three guys in Kalamazoo? Yeah, I think we are better than that. We got to make a few more. But, no, they can really shoot the ball, Roderick included. I didn't mention him. He can really shoot the ball.
Coach, congratulations on those 2 big road wins this week. We'll see you back here next week, hopefully talking about 2 more wins. For head coach John Groce, I'm Joe Dunn. Always remember, go Zips.
Thanks for watching Zips Weekly with John Groce. Presented by Akron Athletics and the Wentz Financial Group. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Zips!
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.